So a little while ago, Cornel West announced that he was running for president in the People's Party. And the People's Party is a party that he helped found, but ever since its inception has gone through all kinds of problems and serious allegations against the leader and just really questionable leadership. And they don't really have a democratic process for choosing a candidate either. And there was a lot of criticism, and people were really disappointed because people love him. Cornel West is a hugely influential figure in American intellectualism. He's part of the Black prophetic tradition that people like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and other important figures come from. And he's honestly in my opinion, he's a really great candidate. But the problem was that he was a part of the People's Party. And the People's Party only has ballot access in like 3 states. So he would essentially just be, as Crystal Ball from Breaking Points called it, a glorified writing candidate. Well, Chris Hedges is a journalist who I really respect, and he's a colleague, I guess you could say, of Cornel West, and they're also good friends. And he stepped in, and he had like a discussion with Cornel West about his run, and they got together, and Chris Hedges convinced Cornel West to move to the People's Party. Now, I mean, not the People's Party, the Green Party. He convinced Cornel West to switch from the People's Party to the Green Party. Now, this has huge implications, and it's pretty wild to think what could happen because of this. Now, the Green Party has ballot access in like 48 states. So they're a much more viable party to run in, and they're also a more legitimate organization. So Chris Hedges talked to Cornel West, and Cornel West switched from the People's Party to the Green Party. Now, the crazy thing is that if the Green Party gets 5% of the vote in 2024 or more, then they'll be recognized as an official national party, and they'll receive federal funding that's proportional to the number of votes that they receive. Now, this would be a watershed moment for third-party politics if this happens. I mean, it would change the game completely. It would, I think, excuse me, like, it would be the beginning of the transition from a 2-party system to a multi-party system, I guess you could say. Now, there's a lot of like politics that's involved in this. For me, I'll just talk about my vote. Like, I'll be transparent about it. I'll tell you where I stand right now. Now, before Cornel West got into the race, the candidate I aligned most with was Marianne Williamson. But I have some questions about her candidacy. I don't know. There's also RFK, Joe Biden, and then on the Republican side you have the Republicans, and well, none of them are going to get my vote at all because they're anti-trans stuff. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to oppose them, but their anti-trans rhetoric is just like a complete... I mean, I'm non-binary myself, and so that they're like... There's a little bit of self-preservation there in my opposition to their leadership. But you have Joe Biden in the Democratic Party, RFK in the Democratic Party, and Marianne Williamson. Now, when you vote in the primary, you have to choose what primary candidate you're going to vote for. And so you can vote in the Green Party in the primary and choose Cornel West, but depending on who else is running in the Green Party, I think Cornel West has the best shot. So if you want to support someone else in the Democratic Party, like Marianne Williamson or RFK, or Joe Biden, I guess, but Joe Biden isn't very popular, so if you're an American, chances are you don't even want him to run. So, according to polls anyway. So, like, for me, if I was going to vote in the Democratic primary, I would vote for Marianne Williamson. Now, it's just sort of like this calculus of whether or not you vote in the Green Party or the Democratic Party. But there's very good reason to vote in the Green Party. And so, well, in the general, there's very good reason to vote in the Green Party, depending on what state you're in. If you're in a state where it's a swing state, you could have two options. One, if you're against Trump, but you're also against Biden, and you want to vote third party to show your protest against Biden in the Democratic Party, even if it goes to Trump, you know, I can't say that I endorse that kind of strategy. Ultimately, like, if it came down to it, if I was in a swing state, well, okay, if you're in a red state where you pretty much know that it's going to go to Trump or DeSantis, then you might as well vote for Cornel West, because if you're me, because that vote can go to the Green Party so they can get funding and recognition as a national party. Same if you're in a blue state and you know it's going to go to the Democrats, so you can vote for Green Party. It's a safe state. I guess red states and blue states are both safe states, but if you're in a swing state, that's where your vote kind of, I hate to say it, but it kind of matters more. I mean, everybody's vote matters, but in a swing state, there's more riding on your vote. And so you have the option of voting for the Republican, which that might be your choice, but I don't recommend it, or the Democrat, which is like probably, even though I would like Marianne Williamson to be the candidate for the Democrats, I mean, let's be honest, it's probably most likely going to be Joe Biden. I'm not here to I mean, I support Marianne Williamson, but I'm not here to campaign for her. I want to be honest and transparent about how I feel about things. So if by some miracle Marianne Williamson becomes the candidate for the Democratic Party, and it's Marianne Williamson versus Cornel West, now that would be interesting. But it's probably going to be Joe Biden. So if you're in a swing state, you can either your protest vote against Joe Biden and for Cornel West, or maybe the Libertarian Party or some Green Party or the third party that you would support. I think the Green Party has the best shot of getting to that 5%. But anyways, I mean, in swing states, the strategy really matters. And not only your strategy, but just like the strategy that everyone in the state uses. Because the calculus in a swing state is kind of completely different. And people probably vote differently in swing states. Maybe. I don't know. Probably a lot of normies out there don't put a whole lot of calculus into their vote. They probably just like choose the candidate they have the best vibes with. But I would say the best strategy would be to vote for either Marianne Williamson in the Democratic primary or Cornel West in the Green Party primary. Or to, no, I mean not or, to pick one or the other. To be honest, there's a lot of criticism of Marianne Williamson, but I might be more inclined to vote for Marianne Williamson in the Democratic Party because she's more of the underdog. Cornel West is kind of like the top dog running in the Green Party. No offense to anybody else who's running in the Green Party, but Cornel West is hard to beat. Now, the fact that Chris Hedges did this may have just saved the Green Party and third party politics altogether, because it completely changed the game. So, yeah. I mean, I support Cornel West, alright? But I do have some, I don't know if you would call them reservations or hesitations. Like, I just kind of noticed that sometimes he doesn't talk in specific policies. Like, I want someone who knows the ins and outs of policies and can tell you exactly, like, what laws and how they're going to work he's going to put into place. Like, I want someone who's, like, politically a genius, you know? And Cornel West, he's more of a philosopher and a professor and a civil rights, he's an activist. So I would trust him to be able to put things in place, but I would hope that he brings in people who really have, like, the ins and outs of the legal system figured out, and, like, the whole executive power and legislative everything. Like, I would hope that he brings in experts who really align with his knowledge. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that, I don't want to, like, obviously it's Cornel West, by moving to the Green Party, who would be saving the Green Party if this all happens. But it was Chris Hedges who moved Cornel West to do it. So Chris Hedges may have just, like, saved third party politics of course, with the not with the help of Cornel West, but I think Cornel West is gonna save third-party politics now with the help of Hedges. That's what I mean. All right, everybody. I hope this has been informative. Keep your eyes open. Oh yeah, and if you're watching like this, if you click like, if you could hit subscribe, if you could comment, that helps. I'd love to have discussions. I'll comment back. I'll discuss with you anything you want. Anyways, peace out.